TMZ did an interview with Michelle Rodriguez, of course, one of their ambush interviews, and she said something kind of interesting about minorities playing superheroes in movies. She's not in favor of it. Now, they asked her whether or not she's set to play the Green Lantern. They did it in a joking way. Here's her answer. Take a look.
Thanks for waiting, guys. I think that was really sweet of you.
Thank you. Michelle.
Oh, gosh.
Are you going to be the Green Lantern?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so stupid for like everybody because of this whole like, you know, like minorities in Hollywood thing. Like,
well, it's been all over the internet.
But it's so stupid. It's like, stop stealing, you know, all the white people's superheroes. Like, make up your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that?
That's awesome. Thank you.
I love the commentary. That's awesome. He's not thinking like your comment's awesome. He's thinking we're about to make news.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, look, there's a part of TMZ that I'm amused and I like. I mean, look, we get to show their videos. We have that kind of partnership with them, so let's be upfront about that. And they once, so one of the guys jumped out and did an interview of me once, which I was flattered by. But I was so boring that they didn't use it at all. Okay, and so they got something interesting out of her, and it provides a conversation, and conversations lead to better things and better understanding. So I wish they did it with politics. I bet they can get politicians to say the damnedest things. Now, when we turn to the substance of what Michelle Rodriguez said, I'm not greatly offended by what she said. Obviously, I don't agree. We could make the superheroes anything we like. I don't know if you know this, Michelle, they're fictional.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But people do get touchy about it.
They get so touchy about it. Look, I didn't get offended by her statement. I don't agree with her either, right? This wasn't like one of the things where I'm like, that's pretty outrageous. But I just think that it's dumb to say that all superheroes in all movies need to be white because that's the way they're portrayed in the comic books, right? It's okay to switch things up, right? It's Hollywood, it's fantasy. You're supposed to do fictional work, and that's what makes it a little more interesting. And so when people get upset at a black actor playing a traditionally white superhero, just relax, dude. Again, it's a movie. It's for entertainment's sake. It's for entertainment purposes, and that's it.
And I'm also amused that Michelle thinks that, like, poor white folks, we got to protect them.
Yeah.
They just can't get enough jobs in Hollywood.
Yeah, white people are going to be fine.
Don't steal their roles. There are few roles that white people have left in America.
Now, she got a lot of hate for it, right? I think a lot of it was probably blown out of proportion. So she felt the need to apologize and also elaborate on what she meant. She feels like she was taken out of context. Take a look.
Hey guys, I want to clarify about my comment yesterday. I have a tendency to, like, you know, speak without a filter. Sorry about that. What I really meant was that, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, there's a language. And the language that you speak in Hollywood is successful franchise. It's time to stop. Stop trying to, you know, take what's already there and try to fit a culture into it. I think that it's time for us to write our own mythology and our own story, every culture. So that's what I really meant, and I'm sorry if it came off, you know, rude or stupid. It's not what I meant. So, cheers.
Okay. First of all, people have to stop saying I was taken out of context. We showed the whole tape.
Yeah.
It was 100% in context. Now, you just said it. I mean, I guess you could say in some bizarre way, I took myself out of context. That's
or
kind of a funny thing to say.
But okay, so let me give her a little bit of a pass. And the reason why I say that is because, look, she's not like a trained politician, right? So when TMZ shows up and they're like, this is my camera, right? And they're like, hey, so what do you think about blah, 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 right? Like, you don't know you just had some Katsuya, you're chilling, maybe you had a few drinks. Like, you might just say something that sounds really terrible, right? You haven't had a chance to really think about what you're gonna say. And that's why TMZ is so successful. Like, they ambush people when they least expect it, and they ask them these, like, provocative questions. And yeah, celebrities, again, have a tendency to say things without thinking about it.
To your earlier point, that's why the cameraman is ingratiating.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's awesome, that's great, tell me more, tell me more. What do you got, what do you got?
100%.
Right? But I'm tired of people saying that I'm taken out of context as a standard excuse when no, it wasn't context, you just said something that pissed people off.
Yeah.
Okay, and second of all, I don't know why you had to shoot this video in bed. Like, you could have gotten up. Anyway, I guess that makes it feel like more personal. Like, I don't care that much, and my PR person didn't write this, which I believe because this is not really much of an apology. She actually just reiterated what she said.
She did, and I think her point's kind of interesting. Like, why don't we like make our own mythology or whatever? But these are superheroes that are very popular, that people admire, and I think it's okay to switch it up and put people from different ethnicities as the lead role in those movies. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why people get so frustrated about it.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think she has to apologize, but don't pretend you're apologizing and tell people you took me out of context. And by the way, I'm just going to repeat the same exact thing I said before. Now, as to one of the things that don't make sense in what she just said is she's like, look, Hollywood's all about successful franchises. That's right. Spider-Man makes a ton of money. And if you say a minority can never, ever, ever play Spider-Man, well, you've shut them out of an incredibly successful franchise and you put them in a position that's harder to succeed. It's not that you can't succeed, of course you can, but it's harder for them.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's something we shouldn't even be concerned about. Well, Spider-Man's white, he's white, we move on. But you know what? The Native American dude who grows into a giant is a Native American. Maybe we should make a movie about that dude.
Then that's where I think that's where the problem comes in. And if she wants to make the clarification, fine, good. Write your own stories. Great. There's tons of people in Hollywood that are writing these different stories with different points of views and different looking people playing the roles. Those don't get made because they don't want those made. So fine, you can have that conversation if you believe in that. But now go on to the people who aren't making those movies because there's tons of them. There's good ones. But we keep remaking the same 5 movies over and over again. The Karate Kid is going to get made again in 10 more years, I bet. Who's going to keep making the same fucking movies? So then when we try to make new ones, and they say, no, we don't want that. It's a black guy. Oh, it's a Latino guy. We don't want that movie. Don't complain when you have to infuse some of these folks into the movies that we want to keep seeing over and over again.
Well, on the other hand, Karate Kid did provide a lot of opportunities for Asian American actors like Mr. Miyagi.
And also the city of Reseda, California,
And
which is where I come from.
I'd like to note that some superheroes are diverse. The Hulk is green.